Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I'm Marnique West, President, co-founder of the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. We're here with the First Thursday Live. So on our First Thursday Lives, we are featuring GABCC members, and we're just talking to them about their entrepreneurship journey, what they're doing in the CSRA community or internationally. I don't want to give out too much for the young lady I have with me this evening, but this is just a time for you to come in, talk to us, learn about some business owners in the community and the awesome things that they're doing during this time. So we're going to get right into this conversation. If you want to know anything about what the chamber has going on, is do a little housekeeping. Be sure to go to our website, www.mygabc.org. Click on events. We have 3 events happening this month. We have new member orientation, open house, and our Women's History Annual Brunch. So that is happening. And we also are going to be celebrating the women who have completed eCornell. So if you went to eCornell, you'll be getting an invite soon for that closeout. So we're celebrating women all month this month for Women's History Month. But happy Women's History Month. And look who I'm talking to today, a woman who is all about women, right? So Angel, yes. Let people know who you are. Let's talk a little bit about your entrepreneurship journey and how you got started in entrepreneurship first.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, first, let me say thank you so much for allowing me to come in for First Thursday Live with GABCC, and I appreciate the work that you do, and all of the other leaders and also the other members. So I appreciate you all so much. My name is Angel Charmaine Wright. Oftentimes I'll go by Angel Charmaine, and I am the owner and the CEO of Speak Up Sis LLC. And I started my well, first, I was actually an educator in both Burke County and Richmond County. And I taught at Burke County High School. That's where I did my student teaching. I'm a Georgia girl, graduated from Georgia Southern University and Troy University. It was Troy State University when I graduated, but Troy University. And I taught at Burke County High School and Hepzibah High School in Richmond County through 2010. And then I went overseas to a place called Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, and I trained teachers there. And I moved from there to work with the Department of Defense as a teacher. Okay. And I moved around, worked on military bases, Fort Campbell, Fort Knox. Then I became an Army Wounded Warriors advocate with the Department of Defense. And that took me across the country to Vancouver, Washington. And it was in Vancouver, Washington, where the entrepreneurship bug hit me. And I started with a business called Speak with Chic. And I made handcrafted earrings. These are earrings that are Speak with Chic earrings. And I had a friend who had a gift to make purses. Mm-hmm. And she had a subscription box that wasn't working. And as a group of friends, we sat down together to kind of help her figure out how to get her subscription box to sell better. And we tried to get her to understand that it was a perceived lack of value. It wasn't that there wasn't value, but the perception, right? Mm-hmm. And she wouldn't listen. And she could sew handmade pocketbooks. They were beautiful. So I'm the kind of person that I get a little frustrated if you tell me you have a problem, mm-hmm. and then if I give you a solution, you don't take it. Like, that bothers me. So when we got off our group call that night, I was so infuriated with her because I just knew that if she would put those purses in those boxes, they would sell. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, what could I, like, if I was gifted like her, I would be making money. And I was like, Lord, I know I can do something. Mm-hmm. Like, got a gift of something I could do. And I had just signed up to be a paparazzi consultant. Okay. And they give you this little kit to fix the earrings or to fix the jewelry if it breaks. So I thought I could just make my own earrings. And so I went to the Walmart that night, all in one day, in one night. I went to the Walmart and I looked for things that you could make earrings with, and I decided to create earrings from repurposed materials. So I bought like duct tape, wood, just all sort fabric, all sorts of things. And I went home and I started making these big, bold statement earrings out of all of these different types of materials. And the next day, when the group got together, I was like, what do y'all think about these? And they were like, oh, Angel, those are cute. Where'd you get this from? I was like, I made them last night. You're serious? We want some. So I started selling them. So I stopped doing the paparazzi, making $2 and 40 something cent, right? To charging 10 and 15 and $20 for my earrings. So that's how I started entrepreneurship, actually. And I decided to create this brand, Speak with Chic LLC was the brand as my first business, in order to create these statement earrings that would cause another woman to stop a woman and create conversation with her. Because if you see a woman with big, pretty earrings, you're going to be like, sis, so cute, right? And so it was a way that I thought would be a wonderful way to get women to have conversations with one another by connecting through, you know, these statement earrings. And that's how Speak Up Sis was. It kind of came from when I moved back from Washington back to Augusta. Had a life-changing experience, spiritual experience, and I was led to create a platform to give women what I needed, and I needed community. And so I still sold the earrings for a while, but then I created this space for women for us to talk and just meet and just be vulnerable. And it evolved from Speak with Chic into Speak Up Sis. And the rest, as they say, is history being made.
Nice. So now, okay, so you covered a lot, but I got some questions to go back to. Okay.
Okay.
So how was your time in Abu Dhabi?
In Abu Dhabi?
Yes. So how was that time there? Like what? So you were teaching there? Is that correct?
I was a partnership consultant, educator. So I trained teachers. I trained primarily Arabic teachers or teachers from the Middle East, and I also had a few teachers who were from other places like Canada. One of my teachers was from the U.S., but I actually was a consultant helping them to improve their pedagogical skills in English. Abu Dhabi is actually one of the 7 emirates in the United Arab Emirates. So most people know Dubai.
Yes.
Abu Dhabi is a 2-hour drive outside of Dubai.
Yes. I know some people that
absolutely loved it.
Area, you know, consulting, teaching, etc., or you know, left the United States and were there. So very interesting. Now, from there, did that contract end, and then that's why you came back? And are you from Augusta?
I'm actually originally a Seaport girl. I'm from Savannah, Georgia.
From Savannah, okay.
Originally, but I'm a daughter of the city now. I've been here since I think we moved here in 1986 or 1987.
Okay.
So I went to Levi White Elementary for 7th and 8th grade. No, 7th grade. Went to Murphy for 8th and a lot of other middle schools. And I graduated from A.R. Johnson. So I've been here a long enough time, right?
Okay.
And what was your
did the contract end?
The contract
made you come back to the States. That was
so actually I came back. The contract was for 2 years.
Okay.
I stayed 1 year. I absolutely loved it. But at the time when I went, I was married and I had my 4 sons. My sons were small. They were littles at the time. And they stayed here with their dad. Okay. And so I came back early because my oldest son was not he was not adjusting well. Okay. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and come home a year early.
Okay. So that's good to know. I was like, okay, what brought you back to the States? Now, hey, everybody that's in the live, make sure you share this out so everybody can learn about Angel and Speak Up Sis, because we want everybody to know what good she has and so forth. Some folks have said hi to us already, so you already attracting the folks in this
Hey,
evening.
ladies.
So so then you start out selling earrings, and now how did you make the transition to where you are today and what you do currently for the international community, I believe. Am I correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Speak Up Sis, as we know it now,
Mm-hmm.
um, it didn't necessarily come from Speak with Chic.
Okay.
I developed that entrepreneurial push, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
from Speak with Chic. But Speak Up Sis grew out of, like I said, it was a need that I had for myself. So in January 2018, I had what I call an experience with the Spirit of the Living God. And so I had a spiritual experience, and I believe that I was led by the Spirit of God to resign from my career at the time. So I did what many people say you shouldn't do. And I've heard people say, God won't tell you to do that. But I am here to say that He most definitely will. So, January 2018, I had this experience with the Spirit of the Living God, and believed that it was time for me to resign from my traditional career
Mm-hmm.
and follow the Lord. So I said, okay, I'm going to follow you, Lord, and walk on this water with you. And at the time, my husband was then my ex-husband, and he was in Augusta,
Mm-hmm.
and my sons were with me in Washington. So I called him and said, all right, this is what I believe the Lord wants me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I had done some research and all these things. And I was like, well, anyone who's ever impacted the world in any major way have all said they've been homeless before. I was like, Oprah and Tyler and everybody's like, they've got these crazy stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I said, I'm willing to do whatever the Lord wants me to do, but I don't want the boys to go pillar to post. And so he said, okay. I said, can they come live with you now since they've been with me? Because I'm just going to follow the Lord and I could end up homeless. And he said, yes. So we prepared for that. And in June, when school was letting out, my oldest son was graduating from high school. I have twin sons. They were going to the 10th grade, and my youngest son was going to the 8th grade. June sent the younger boys to their dad here in Augusta. My oldest boy stayed back. He had an internship in Portland. And I gave up the house, sold everything that I had. We were homeless, me and the older son, for just a couple weeks. And and then there was, and I put in my resignation. My supervisor, everyone was like, okay, we understand. And then July 5th, my ex-husband died.
Mm.
So the pillar that I had, like my safety net, if you will,
Right.
was pulled,
From up
just
under you.
yanked from
Mm.
under me. So now I have no job. Um, Three of my sons are across the country. One son is with me. We are homeless and we have nothing because I sold everything and gotten rid of everything. And so my mother said, why do you think you can't come home?
Mm.
Now, I know we're just, if you follow Speak Up Sis even a little bit, I believe in truth, vulnerability, and transparency in leadership. And so I share these bits because I believe there are so many African American people, especially African American women, who've been taught to be super strong and super independent and all the things, who need support in becoming entrepreneurs and developing as entrepreneurs, who are ashamed and who are just not willing to go home. Some of them are unable to, but there are many who have parents or sibling or people who will allow it. And
Mhm.
I say to you today, take the help should it be offered to you. So my mom said, why you think you can't come home? I was like, I'm 40 years old. I have built a career for myself. I have a master's degree. I've traveled the world. That wasn't the only country I've been to. I've been to many countries. I've been jet setting, if you will, for many, many years now before it was a popular thing to do. And to resign from my work and go home,
Mm.
yeah. But I said, Lord, I know what you said, and I heard you. So I moved back in to the house that, I was in when I was in high school, and went back to the room and all the things, and I brought my three children back with me. My oldest stayed, and he graduated from University of Washington to Seattle, but he stayed there and went to school. The three younger ones, they were already here, so they came with mom. And Speak Up Sis was born August of 2018, because at the time, although I was following the Lord and my life was changing, who do you talk to about this kind of stuff? Who you say, y'all, I quit my job because Jesus said so.
Uh-huh.
And then, Kevin died and the boys, and I got no money. And what talk to about that?
Wow.
Who's even going to listen to that? So
Right.
I created what I needed. And I realized that other women probably need the same thing. And so I started um, having these, what I call Speak Up Sis experiences. And I had written a book in January as well, my first book. And I started having these conversations where I just invited women to come join me. I use my book to kind of prompt discussions
Mm-hmm.
that women have about the stuff we don't like to talk about, and the women just started coming, and it was wild the way women just showed up in a space with somebody they didn't know, with a bunch of people they didn't know, and shared some of the most private and personal things. And we all just started to have these breakthroughs. Nothing cost. There was no charge for anything. It wasn't a business. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a business. It was therapy almost.
Okay.
And it built itself out of that. That's pretty much our beginning story. And of course it has developed into much more than that, but that is initially and fundamentally how we started.
Man, that was a, you know, definitely a journey, okay, that you took us through. And I knew that you would be a good person to have for this month because of your journey and your step out on faith. And I stepped out on faith too, as well, when I left corporate full time and started my entrepreneurship journey. So I resonate with that without any backup plan and nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I don't even have a person that's like, hey, I can now, but I definitely don't have parents I can go live with, those type of things. So it was just really me figuring out some things. And I knew it was that deep, and I knew how deep it was. I didn't even tell anybody
Mm-hmm.
for a while.
Yeah.
And so, because I didn't want to get talked out of it again and so forth, but I knew I had to go ahead and transition. So you're talking about a transition. I think those transitions are so important to discuss and for people to hear, because some people think it's like la la land and it's lovely and you ain't cutting back and you ain't trying to figure out how you gonna make ends meet, what's gonna happen and so forth. That is not true. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time the transitions look like what you just described and what you went
Yeah.
through, and because you went through that, you have the experience to help
Mm-hmm.
others through their
Yes.
transitions and to help them to get to their goals and
Yes.
reach their peaks when they feel like they're in a valley. But the biggest thing about growing is what you have to let go.
Yeah. Listen, Ronnie, when I tell you, and I'm glad you said what you said, because when I first started, people didn't know, one, that I had moved back home. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing lives and stuff, but because I moved around so much, nobody ever knew where I was.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell people because I didn't want to hear what they had to say. I just started sharing with people that I moved back home with my parents for lots of reasons. But one reason was because I didn't want to hear the negative things people had to say about a 40-year-old woman going home. Um,
Or
when
you
I
leaving a
when I
good job. Don't forget that.
leaving a good job, you got kids, you got all these things, right?
Yes.
And but my thing was, I know what I heard,
Mm-hmm.
period. And as I did my research, I looked at excuse me, I'm going to say, white. But when
Mm-hmm.
I looked at many of the white successful males who are billionaires and multimillionaires, many of them dropped out of college,
Mm-hmm.
went and lived in a garage at home with their parents. You understand what I'm saying? And they built these empires, but they were willing to um, downsize. And I have to tell people all the time that it wasn't going home and I'm living. No, I became a minimalist. My locks are down to my behind because I wasn't getting no done. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? There's no fingernails. There's no fancy clothes. I wore the same clothes over and over and over again. Ain't no feet done, hair done, did. There's no. I told you I was jet setting.
Mm-hmm.
All that stopped. My passport has expired. I got to go get it read up this month because I'm planning on going to Africa, prayerfully by the end of the year. So there are lots of things that
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop doing. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
there were people who left me, and there were people I had to let go. My closest, dearest friend, a family member, we did all that traveling together, a lot of it. And one day she knew about the journey and everything. We talked about it. She knew I was going to be leaving. It was just, we had all these plans. And then one day she called and said that she just couldn't deal with me no more.
Mm-hmm.
She just, that's what she said. She just couldn't deal with me no more.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want to talk with me anymore. And that was that. And I cried for a year. I mourned that relationship for a year. You hear what I'm saying? And I couldn't understand what did I do? Where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
Like this, it was just an unexpected person to walk out of my life at that time. I felt like I was losing everything. Kevin was a co-parent. We were friends. He was just my ex-husband. He was my friend. And he's gone. And now my best friend in the whole world, since I was a little girl, says she can't deal with me no more. And she don't want to be my friend or nothing. And now I've given up and you want me to go talk to some ladies in a room. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So I say, for people who are maybe watching this or you're in your journey, just know I don't know an entrepreneur who has been successful in entrepreneurship who has not had to release people and release things. I don't know any who haven't. But one thing I did learn from a coach I worked with, I'll never forget, he said to me, Angel, because I used to have a limiting belief and a fear of rejection and loss. And he said to me, Angel, you can't lose something you never had, and you can't lose something that was never yours.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times we are connected to people and things and whatever that were never ours in the first place. And those things were never connected to who we truly are. They may have been connected to the representative, who you pretending to be, whatever. But when you strip away everything and it's just you, you will lose people because they didn't know you.
Mm.
And they were never there for you. They were there for whatever you were at that time,
Yes,
you
for
know,
that season. I
for
think
that
you know
season.
you have different seasons with people, and they help you through different stages of your life or seasons in your life as you continue to get to yourself, right? As you begin to pull back the onions and continue to do that. And I think you discussed the mourning process that comes with transitions and growth, because like you said, you don't know anybody that really was successful or transition that had to let go of people, places, or things. I always say that. So, it could be a place, could be a person, could be people, could be things, could be a whole group, could be you know. So it's transitions are you always hear the lovely side of transitions, but you never hear what comes along with it. And I think these conversations are so critical for entrepreneurs and business owners, because I know in social media world, only thing you get is the highlights.
Right.
You get the success. You know, you don't get to hear the journey and what it took. And when you look at somebody, it's like, are you going to sacrifice what she sacrificed to get where she's at
Exactly.
today? A lot of you would probably say no if
Mhm.
you really knew the sacrifices that it took for that
Yeah,
person to be what position they are in. And everybody has different sacrifices and different journeys.
that's right.
And I think for me, I'm always just amazed to hear the different stories from the entrepreneurs and the business owners that are members of the chamber, and just y'all in all different types of industries. And all of you guys are so critical, from our solopreneurs to our entrepreneurs that are employing 50 and more employees. And I always talk to people about that. I'm like, every single person is critical to the whole.
That's right. That's right.
No matter
That's
what
right.
you think that person impact is making or not, I am a big proponent of that. And so
That's
I think
right.
what you do is so critical. I want you to break down your services you offer,
Okay.
and what you exactly do, so everybody that's listening or listen to this late live later knows what you do and what you offer at Speak Up Sis, and where you're located at, because I think that's so critical too.
Thank you. All of that. Yes, 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 yes. So Speak Up Sis is now an LLC. We are officially a for-profit company. We are mission driven. We feel like a nonprofit, but we are a for-profit company, and we are an empowerment company that focuses primarily right now in with the media industry. We create spaces and provide opportunities for everyday women and men to share their stories, to build resilience and inspire the stories of others. Our vision is to be the premier financial supporter of Kingdom Visions. And so we do that by providing opportunities in these creative spaces. Some of the creative spaces are, the newest one is the Speak Up Sis Empowerment Center.
Yay.
We're located at 2275 Wrightsboro Road in Augusta, Georgia, 30904. The number is 706-394-2030. Here at the center, we have Speak Up Sis workshops, everything from Start Your Business 101 to iPhone photography. We hire facilitators for these Speak Up Sis workshops. So we pay you $50 an hour to come in and to facilitate a workshop. Not motivational speaking. You actually have to be able to teach people something that they can use. Here in the space, we also have activities for you to enjoy yourself. We have a weekday wind down every second and fourth. The space, we also rent space for trainings, workshops, small gatherings, and so much more. So you can always come through for a tour and talk about what we have here. We're open between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. And we are open to the public. So if you just need a quiet place to read or work, if you work from home and you just want a change of pace, you can come work inside the TK3 meeting room. There's no cost for you to utilize the space as an individual between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So come check us out. Some other of our spaces, as you can see behind me right there, is the Speak Up Sis magazine. It is a quarterly periodical. You can submit articles at no cost to you. You can be published in our beautiful magazine. It is print and digital. We also have the Speak Up Sis podcast. If you are a small business owner, we have a small biz spotlight segment, so you can come into the space for that. We have the Speak Up Sis bookshelf, which is an online platform to help promote self-published authors. And we've got the Everyday Woman series that's going on right now. And this is another one, and I'll leave you here, but we've got lots of spaces. If you want to share your story and be heard, we have a space for you. But the Speak Up Sis Awards, this is our second year, and it is going to be on Sunday, September 15th this year at Julian Smith Casino. It is amazing. And if you missed it last year, you missed a treat. So those are just some of the spaces that we offer through Speak Up Sis LLC.
Man, so okay, so this is what I heard. So I'm gonna run this down, okay? Because I don't want to hear nobody say they ain't got no opportunity to spread their business here in the CSRA any longer, okay? So I heard you have space for people to rent that they can use for free. I'm sorry. And they can attend workshops that if you are able to facilitate a workshop, you can get paid. So that's a contractor side hustle you can do if you know how to teach. So I'm hearing some opportunities here.
Yes.
Artificial intelligence impacting our community 5 to 10 times worse than any other community. So you always hear me talk about skill set. Go learn how to teach something, go to Speak Up Sis and do that. Then you have a magazine where you can feature business owners, a podcast. You're doing an Everyday Woman series,
which we have over 12,000 downloads of our podcast.
Okay, yes. so you 12,000 downloads. So
yes,
I'm done. I'm just about to. I'm going. We gonna end the interview right now.
What they waiting on, Ronnie?
I don't know what they waiting on. And then, did you say any of this chart costs?
So there are some of the spaces are no cost and some are for a cost. So the magazine, there are advertising spaces. So if you would like to advertise, have paid advertise, and we design your ads as well. In the magazine, we charge for advertising, but to submit an article, there's no cost. The advertising funds the people being able to send their things at no cost. So that's a free opportunity, right? To present yourself as a thought leader. You can submit an article, right? Wow. That's no cost to you. The podcast, again, advertising dollars and supporters of the podcast, but to be on the podcast, there's no cost to be a guest. To utilize the space between 10 and 5 as an individual, there's no cost. There's a membership if you would like additional benefits of coming here, but just to come in as an individual and use the space. We do rent rooms if you would like to do that, but as an individual, you can utilize the space for free. I have tried to create spaces that allow people at varying levels to have access. I know what it's like you can't get blood from a turnip.
Right.
Okay. And so we've got spaces that are no cost. And I say no cost to you because nothing is free. Somebody's paying for it. But no cost to you. We have lots of no cost to you spaces, but we also have opportunities for people with budgets who want an additional level of promotion. We have those spaces as well that are available.
Right. But with 12,000 downloads, though, that's something that I, would see that would be beneficial for anybody to pay for an ad or to write an article or have the opportunity to get in front of different audiences. And one thing I always stress to folks, because they always say, well, this person's doing this person's doing that. I said, but all of us reach different people.
That's right.
I have an audience I reach. Angel has our audience that she reached that I guarantee you that we're probably not crossing. We're, we made a little bit, but it's a different feel and so forth. So that's why it's important as entrepreneurs and business owners that you learn to market your business. And Speak Up Sis is providing a plethora of opportunities. I haven't even got to the awards because I was there last year. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I haven't even touched on that. So I'm gonna leave that for a minute. But I have had the opportunity to see the space. I've been in the space
Mhm.
multiple times. The space is really nice, really well done. It is a nice co-working space or a space for you to go work in. So go check it out. It's at 2275 Wrightsboro Road. We will put the Speak Up Sis contact information at the top of the live here later on this evening or in the morning, so you'll be able to reach out to them. But make sure you share out this live so people know about this. Now, the awards ceremony was so awesome. You honored a lot of women in the community. It was great time, good to see everybody. And so this year's is September 15th. And I think
Yes, Sunday, September 15th.
are tickets on sale already?
They are, and the early bird tickets are on sale they've been on sale since February 5th. Just let me say
Okay.
that.
Yes.
But they are running on the early bird until March 10th, because this Sunday we announced the 65 finalists.
Okay.
And may I just say something really quickly about the finalists and the awards, because we have this thing locally about who doing what. And like you said, everybody has a different lane and everybody reaches a different audience. And just because there's an award ceremony here, one there, they're not the same. They're reaching different people. They are crossing in different spaces, right? And so I think it's important to also understand, because we love our hometown, as we should. But what I want people in the CSRA to understand is that, yes, Speak Up Sis reaches a national and even an international audience. However, there is enough space for our local community in Speak Up Sis. Just because you see people come into the city who are from other places, because that room, Ronnie can attest, that room was filled with people from throughout the U.S. and abroad. But it was also filled with lots of local people. There were, I think, the majority of the award recipients, maybe half of them were local. So I don't want you all to feel like, well, Angel or Speak Up Sis she ain't doing nothing for Augusta. Yes, we are. And I am trying my best to let you all know that, yes, Speak Up Sis I have made our home here. And in my hometown, I've made the Speak Up Sis headquarters. Our very first location is here in Augusta, providing opportunities for people in Augusta. The award recipients, many of them are from Augusta. The nominees, many of them are from Augusta. So when you see that we impact nationally and abroad, don't feel like it's not for you. It is for you. So please come into the room. This year, Representative Dr. Lynn Gladney awarded us with
the proclamation.
Yes,
Okay,
a resolution.
A resolution,
right?
okay.
A resolution by the representatives in our state legislator. And all of those women's names are on that resolution archived. We had a foreign diplomat in the room, flew all the way from Cameroon, Africa. She was stunning, like a whole queen, right? So I just want you all to know that Speak Up Sis is here in Augusta, because I'm Augusta too, and I want us to thrive as well. And we do have opportunities for the women and men in Augusta, Georgia. So don't count us out simply because we bring people into the city as well. We're bringing them here because this city is so amazing. So it's a beautiful thing for the city to come meet them, to say welcome. And so I invite you all to get connected and utilize the space and the opportunities.
Yeah, I think, first, anybody that is living, working, and playing here is contributing to the city. So I think that's one thing that, hopefully everybody can begin to understand. It is people you have no clue of that are here, that are doing things that are contributing to us,
Right.
me, you. And you don't know everybody. I mean, I think sometimes,
Right.
and I understand that hometown, that community thing, this, that,
Yeah.
and other, but anybody that's pouring into the community, that starts a business in the community,
Mhm.
that is paying people in the community, is contributing to the community. So I'm gonna leave that at that. But one thing that makes me think, and I love this one by Solange Knowles. This is one of my favorite quotes, and then we're gonna have to close out. But it
Mhm.
always said, one thing, I think she was talking about the Oscars, and because you talked about the awards, and people feel like if one person does a award show, another person can't do it. I believe celebrate the community, celebrate the folks. What is wrong with celebrating each other? I don't have a problem with that. I don't see what the issue is. But one thing she said, and I think it was with the Oscars, I think snub Beyonce or something. I'm not into pop culture really anymore or anything like
Me
that.
either.
But a long time ago, she said this quote, but I'll never forget it because it sticks in my mind. She said, create your own communities, build your own institution, give your friends award yourself, and be the GOAT you want to hold, my G's. So I'm going to leave you with that because that is one of my favorite quotes, or one of the quotes that I heard that sticks in my mind. And I feel like we have to make sure we're doing that and celebrating others. But I think it's so important that we celebrate us, because a lot of times we're just not celebrated or even honored for the contributions we have made to
Yes,
the communities, to the United States, to the world. So I
that's
think
right.
we have to understand that. And one person can't do it all. So I need you to do your award show, and whoever else do their award show, celebrate each other, do whatever you need to
Yes.
support the business owners, support people, because I'm only one person and I am not going to have a heart attack try to do it all. I am not that woman. So
Amen, sis. I'm with you.
so, but what I want you to do is go ahead and give everybody your contact information, your closeout. This has been a great interview. I hope it inspired someone. I hope everybody reach out to Speak Up Sis, but let them know how they can find you.
Okay. Our headquarters online is at speakupsis.com. Super easy. You can find all of our spaces at speakupsis.com. You can also find us on your social media platforms. We're Speak Up Sis on Facebook, on YouTube, Speak Up Sis LLC on Instagram. And again, the Speak Up Sis Empowerment Center is located at 2275 Wrightsboro Road, and our number is 706-394-2030. And thank you so much, Ronique, for and the chamber for allowing me this opportunity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will end the live. And if you want to connect with GABCC, we remember we're one community, one voice. Go to our website. Everything is there. You can join the chamber, become a member. You can be featured on the first Thursday live. You can be featured with some of our partners on our membership directory, and all good things is that. Get involved with the organization. We hope to send you out at our events this month. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great evening. Thank you so much again, Angel.